Then we use the cleaner fuel. We use gas-fired furnaces. So where there is, for the environment, it is better. There is less pollution. So gradually, earlier people were using oil-fired systems, diesel-fired systems, where there was a pollution problem.
Knackwell Engineers started back in 1997 when Ravi Thanawala, a chemical engineer with a big passion for smarter solutions, set out to build more than just gas burners and ovens. His mission was simple: help businesses save energy, cut costs, and still deliver top-notch quality. With a personal touch and a focus on customized solutions, Knackwell quickly earned the trust of its customer. Fast forward to 2009, Darshan's son, Ravi Thanawala, stepped in. Though he came from a computer engineering background, Ravi saw the opportunity to blend technology with business to take Knackwell even further. Today, with over 750 systems delivered worldwide, Ravi continues to lead the company with the same spirit of innovation and care that started it all.
What is this heating systems?
Furnaces is a product. Furnaces are used from different applications. Furnaces from 60 degrees. We make furnaces up to 1350 degrees. They're used in non-ferrous as in aluminium, copper, brass, and as I said, they are we give heating solution. There's a process.
How have you made that possible that over a period of 28 years, how has this word of mouth system happened?
The furnace is supplied, and this is being a capital equipment. It stays with them for more than 10 years, 15 years. So they need the technical support. We give them support for lifetime.
Hey Ravi, welcome to the podcast, man.
Right. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So how have you made that possible that over a period of 28 years, how has this word of mouth system happened? So what is the thing, the secret recipe, or what do you feel about?
Actually, everyone, any customer, once the furnace is supplied, and this is being a capital equipment, it stays with them for more than 10 years, 15 years. So they need the technical support. So we give that support, and we give them support for lifetime. It is not only within the warranty period or maybe a year or 2 years. We give it for lifetime, because what happens is, practically, if you see the client's team, they keep changing. So there's a new person who comes in, so he needs some support. So we understand that, and that's why when you give that support, and when your equipment is designed well and are able to give you that the result what the client desires, so then yes, of course, he's going to recommend us. He recommends us to his other in the market. He'll give us a good reference, and when the next project which comes, when he's upgrading, when he's having an expansion, they come back to us. There are companies where we have supplied more than 7 to 8 furnaces to the same client with the range of like 7 to 8 years. So I think it's just that we be with them. More of a we consider that we are not just being their furnace suppliers or equipment suppliers. We work with them as their own department. So that's the rapport, that's the relation that we build with them, and that's why it is we get more orders based on word of mouth.
So there would be situations wherein there would be disagreements, right? So there would be disagreements, with the team members, with other stakeholders. So how do you handle disagreements within the group or in certain decision making to move forward? So so that audience can get to know the perspective of how to handle these kind of things if you have some kind of interesting formulas.
See, ours is an engineering product, right? So there are whatever solutions we have, they will have there'll only be a one good solution. So what we do whenever we have any design, doing the design, whenever we have any disagreements, we analyze the end user's requirement, and then we have a very positive structure that we have, that where we are all focused on the right solution. So we have data with us. So based on the data, we select the right solution for a particular particular furnace.
Okay. So the customer wins, or example, the design aspect wins eventually.
Of course, the design aspect is wins. So irrespective of whether, even if we have to convince the customer for a certain situation.
So do you remember the first day at office? I mean, like, as you joined in 2008 and 9, like how did you feel, or like what was the whole day all about?
Because I was very happy. I was very excited. I was excited to, first I was coming. After my master's, I was very happy to be back in India, and start the work. Of course, it was quite, the whole structure was new. So I was getting used to it. It took some time, but there was always, because engineering was around, so I always had that liking towards doing something new. So I was very excited.
And do you remember the moment when you tell your dad, like when you told your dad that you're gonna join him? So was it?
We were actually, he told me, what is your plan? Do you want to come back, or you want to continue there? So we thought about it, and eventually I told him that I will come back.
So what I understand is morning exercise, breathing exercises, and then you would be leaving for factory.
Yes, 9 o'clock I'm in factory.
9 o'clock you're at factory. So the duration from your home to factory would be around an hour or so, maybe.
Right.
So what do you do in that time in the car? So so are you consuming some kind of content, or are you relaxing? So what is that hour? Because you have that 1 hour, and then evening you have 1 hour maybe.
So now, of course, there is different phases where we had. So now I take up online courses where I listen to those courses while I'm driving. There are multiple chapters that they have, so I try to go through that chapter. So that is something which maybe, though with a lot of things happening, still some knowledge, if I am able to gather, that actually helps. So right now I'm looking at, this is a phase where I'm looking at investing, investing and savings and building the company. So that's where I'm currently I'm doing a course on that.
Like, how you handle anger or disagreements, things, because customers, with people, with things, with the world going so fast, and as you said before, expectations versus how things are happening. So is there a hack that you handle? How do you remain to be so calm?
See, it's not just anger. There are a lot of confusion we may have, where we are not able to solve the problem immediately. So there's one thing which my father always tells me, that you sleep over the problem. So even if there is something to do with our team or our equipment or the client, we don't try to give an impulsive answer. We sleep over it. We take some time, because the next day we'll get a better solution, because we are more calmer. So that is something which I got it from my father, and I try to implement that.
And being in the industry for such a long time, you would come across a lot of advice. So what is the worst advice you've heard so far?
Worst advice would be, I don't think it's an advice, but it's a thought, or it's a friends, or my a few clients there, where growth is more to do with how much more you have made compared to the earlier years. I feel growth has to do with how improved your product you have made. Even though you would have, your turnover would be lesser than the previous year. I think the improvement, because everything is, we are a core engineering. Our focus is engineering. So we would want to improve our system. We would want to bring changes, and if that is done, even if it is by 5%, we feel good about it. So a lot of people, they do ask me that their turnovers or their financial growth has been good. which is good, which is necessary, no doubt.
Mm.
But I feel if your product has to be strong, we have to make the product strong. So focus has to be more on the product. That's what I feel.
Okay. And what is the advice that you would want to give the next generation of second generation entrepreneurs, like coming into the business, joining their father's business, factories primarily, with all your experience, understanding, what is the advice that you would like to give them?
Actually, for everyone, it may vary because depending on what industry they are in. But I would say that the initial years, which actually my father encouraged me and pushed me to have as much hands-on experience. So for the initial, I would say 5 to 7 years, I was commissioning every furnace, the smallest project also and the biggest furnace also. So I used to see how, because that's how I understood every phase, how they are done, practically done. So anyone who is joining the family business needs to start the earlier years with hands-on experience from the grassroots. You need not do everything on your own, but you need to be there to see how it is happening.
To go through all the touch points and get a perspective.
Yes.
And then when you go bird's eye management, then you can get all the macro.
Correct. So see, today if the client sees any problem and they report to us, I can visualize it very easily and say we don't want the furnace to have any downtime. So we need to analyze the problem and give a solution fast. Otherwise, if we don't have a solution, it's going to be the problem is going to keep coming up again and again.